Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. LolaAjisafe here. It's the first time, your second time you're back. This is, just as a reminder, yes, you didn't miss all the prior. You only missed like one or two other episodes that I've done. I did start mid-season, but I'm glad to be back. So we're jumping right in. Season 4, episode 9, housekeeping rules. Remember, please like the video. The algorithm likes the likes. It helps me, know that I'm working and people are watching it. 2, drop a line, what you think, your opinion. Sometimes I get tea in the comments, so please drop a line, tell me what's up, what you think. I always like to go back. I always read everything and go back and forth, and I get information, and I love talking. And then most importantly, 3, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button, click, and subscribe, and join the team. So anyway, what are we doing here? This season 4, episode 9, it's called Out of Town, Out of Bounds. It's either that or the other way around, but you know what I'm talking about.
I think there's going to be drama, and I'm here for it.
No, I don't want no drama.
Tensions are starting to rise between the ladies. But the Brown Girl Squad, we good. Brown Girl Squad, for life.
So, clip opens up in the car. We have Camille, we have Cornelius, and we have Zadia. I think that's what her name is. I should get better at these names. Anyway, Zadia in the back in the car, heading towards, I think it's Bayside Mansion is where they're going for this, away trip to try and cement, the connections that are there, which is what the purpose of this trip is. And so, Camille goes into, she's ready for, whatever she says, she's ready for tension. Like, she about that life. She about it. She ready to rock, she ready to roll, talk about this, tensions are high, blah, blah, blah. And then she introduces, I guess, this new concept. I don't remember hearing out. Anyway, new concept, the Brown Girl Squad. Apparently, it's her, Zadia, and Mumen. Lovely. Okay, but sis, like, you 42. Like, do you need a squad to feel like you matter? I think it's a little juvenile. I even wish it did like. But anyway, so that's how they're feeling. They're driving on the way, and then she's being Camille, being a little pushy, talking about she's gonna be married. She's saying all these things in the car. I don't understand what's going on with Cornelius. It's like, is anybody home? Like, blink once or twice, or just stare at me and let your eyes dry out so I can help you. I don't know if any of you, seen this kind of relationship. Something similar to this where guy and the girl, the guy is like real cool, easy, laid back guy. By all accounts, probably a nice guy. And the girl is just like a bit of a monster. And you almost want to cry for the guy and, save him. But he doesn't want to be saved. Or at least he's not telling you, he's not giving you the signals, and you just watch him just kind of be roped around and meddled and pushed around. In my humble opinion, I don't want any man that can be pushed around. If you can be pushed around, you're not the man for me. Like, if that's what some people are about, that's what they want. That's what they want. But personally, if somebody tells you when to sit down, get up, smile, that's not, I wouldn't do that to my kid. So, at this point, that's what it looks like. And it feels like everybody can see it but Uncle Cornelius. Like, Corny, like, bruh, like, what's up? Like, what are you here for? I don't know, are you a plant? Like, did, Camille put you in there to make sure? I don't know, but it just, nothing is looking or sounding right at this moment in time.
I want to talk to you.
Okay.
I actually used to dance. So, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was an exotic dancer, yeah. So you used to dance like a ballerina dance? No, no. I don't regret any of it.
How long did you dance for?
Like 10 years.
It's not as taboo as it used to be back in the day. However, it kind of sent up a red flag.
So, the second clip, Sabrina is riding up with Walter to Bayside Manor, and she's like, yo, I need to tell you something, he's looking like, oh, Jesus, like what, she's got a husband hidden somewhere, he don't know what to expect. And then she comes out with, I used to be a dancer, an exotic dancer, not a ballerina, an exotic dancer, and you would never have guessed. But once again, I'm drawn to someone with a story, and she's a woman with a story, because she's come throughout this whole episode, strong woman, independent, and I've never been a dancer, and I don't know, I don't consciously know of anyone who's a dancer, but I kind of watch, clips, documentaries, and I understand from documentaries that it's a hard lifestyle to be in, and it's a hard lifestyle to come out of. But not only did she come out of it, And she was in it for 10 years is a long ass time. That's probably why she's so strong, and she does come up strong. But for her to have come out of it and made something of herself and carries herself with, with grace, and like, she's not judging herself. At least she doesn't appear to, because we really don't know what's going on with people. But she doesn't appear to be judging herself from the inside, because I think, probably from personal experience, I'm my worst critic. Like, you can't judge me or curse me out better than I can do that to myself. But she's still walking around with her head, her head high and her shoulders up. Like, and I like that. That, I don't know, I don't want to use the term that makes her more relatable, but it just really brings, color to her character. If this was a script, or if this was, well, probably some of them are scripted, they are script writers. But, in terms of a script or in terms of real life, it really brings dimension to who she is and would explain certain things, like as to how she moves. But what I think I'm seeing is someone who's been through it all, but has come up above. Does she have some issues? Does she have some trauma? I'm sure she does, but she's not allowing that to stop her. And it gives her texture. Now, Uncle Walter, he looking like he a little worried, like, yo, you an exotic dancer? Ooh, red flag. Okay, I get it and I don't get it. I see both sides of it. So yes, on one hand, he seems to be a more conservative brother. His ex-wife, who's since late, was, went to med school, all just like the traditional journeys. And I don't know his story totally as into how, how he came about to be what he's doing. But he's kind of more or less kind of followed the traditional path. So now he's with a woman who isn't in such a traditional path. So I can understand the push and pull. I think another thing that might be working against these two, being together, is the fact that Uncle Walter said he wants kids. Sabrina doesn't. Sabrina's 45. She has a kid already. And she just wants to build on her work and build a partner. So that right there is a big thing. It's a really big thing. And I don't know how they will get about or get around it. So those are the things right there. I think what makes them click, the fact that, she's the way she is and he's the way he is. And also he's not actually, I won't say he's like, a person like he's stuffy, but definitely on this regard, he's a little, understandably so, he's a little like reserved about it. So I want to see how this plays out. So, they get to the house. I think one of the first scenes I kind of noticed of note that I like was when, Walter and Moomin met themselves. They were at the piano, and I didn't even know Walter played. And he playing a little something, get right, stay right. Like they're talking. She's like, stay right for cute little, interaction between them. And then, goes away. And then the rest of the people come into the house, Zadia, I'm not sure who, so Zadia comes up, and I believe, she sees Dante, but she gives him the cold shoulder. Now, I don't know if that was part of a play, if it was a game, or there's something that we haven't seen or that hasn't played out in front of us. But the last I thought, they were good. And even Dante saying, entering the house, that Zadia was on the top of his list. Yes, he had spent some time with Aisha, I think the end of the last episode. But he had said in his own words that, Zadia was at the top of his list. But she sees him and she like almost kind of gives him the cold shoulder. I'm not sure what was going on at that beginning. And herein lies the space that she created. So, Dante's like, hey, cool. And then he, goes to hang out with Aisha. And I think in real life, that's really it. So I don't know if Zadia was playing a game or she wasn't interested. But, it almost like, if she was playing a game or if she had some kind of plan, it backfired, because he didn't come, whimpering after her. Because sometimes people say, if you're kind of, off-putting, a person might be drawn to kind of follow, do the push and pull thing. So she pushed. Instead of him pulling, he just walked away and went in the other direction. So now he's forming this cute little, we're beginning to see some chemistry between him and Aisha, the refrigerator. And Aisha, she put the girls out there, she's in like these, form-fitting outfits, showing the figure, and she has a lot of personality, and she's a Bronx girl, BX. So, she has an interesting personality, particularly with the contrast against the other girls. So she stands out, she likes to keep it real, rah, 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 rah. So, they have a nice little thing going on there. So that's the beginning of the end. That's the beginning of the end of Zadia and Dante. So as everyone's coming to the house, Uncle Walter's still at the piano, but this time his new partner is Sabrina. They sit down, they have a drink, it looks a little bit cute, they talk, rah, rah, rah. And then, Moomin. comes up, she peeks and runs back, and then she's going back to one of her brown girl posse, Camille, like, oh, there's another couple at the piano. And then she comes up and stands beside him, puts a hand on his neck while he's sitting next to Sabrina. And I really think this is, it just surprises me that this is season 4, possibly season 5, I guess, if you count some of I don't think they're counting everything. And at this point, if you're going to play a game, I think it'd behoove you to understand the rules of the game and look at how other successful players played. Like, you acting all, clingy and feeling some kind of way. Like, this is not a normal situation. We know this. It's not the first season. Like, why are we still doing this? Why are we like tripping over these scenarios? We know it's unnatural. You knew it was unnatural when you signed up for it, my man. So how you should have played it was, yeah, he was at the piano, but he had a cute moment with you. Take that to heart and keep moving, because truth be told, you want to have kids. Sabrina doesn't. So if you had more confidence in who you are and what you brought to the table, you wouldn't have played you wouldn't have played it like that. Because first of all, you're like hanging, touching him, and he's not really responding because he's trying to have a moment with Sabrina. Like, come on, like how many times do I have to, and I'm not even trying to not be understanding, like, because I've said it time and time again. They are unnatural situations. But the truth is, ladies, don't let them see you sweat. I'm just saying, like, even if it's burning you, don't let them see you sweat. You feeling some kind of way, about to walk away. Hold it to your chest. Like, sometimes you need to give the person a minute. You know how that saying, like, you know what? Let it go, and if it comes back, it's yours. Let him go. You pulling all that, it literally, okay, for me, let me put it like this. It literally pushed me away, because I would like to come to a decision myself. I don't need you to manipulate me. I don't need you to push me. I don't need you to scold me. I'm not 5, and neither is Walter. And so if she had played this a little cooler, I feel things could have been a little different. So she has a little moment, and it's obvious both in her body language and her face, and she's doing all this, and then little kind of has a little storm off. Like, sis, like, you had a moment first. She had treasured that, and just play the game. Like, yo, how many times are we going to say that this is a game show? Y'all are contestants, and it's called speed dating. You don't have time. Little mistakes can cost you dearly. This was a dear mistake, my man. I've been saying, like, I like your energy, like, I like you, kind of cool, calm, collected. And you're pretty, like, but yo, you didn't. And I think this leads us to really see how dating involves a lot of strategy. It's not necessarily about how you look. What you say is like I don't want to say you're playing a game, but you have to have a strategy. And you never want to come off looking desperate. And she has come off looking desperate. Like, I'm gonna hope that, people for the contestants for the next season do something else. And really, long and short of it, it looks like, Women's insecurity might have robbed her of what she desired. Let's wait and see, Season not over yet, but it didn't play well for her right now. Not at all.
When I should have all these dope conversations and feel like we connect, and then the next time I see you, it's like literally all over you. I really think somebody is manipulating you and trying to poison your vision towards me. That's 100, and I felt it for a while. And I don't know how they got that place with you where you trust them that much, but it's there, and I can feel it.
Listen, Mimi, don't feel that. I'm telling you that's not the case. I gotta figure certain things out in order to make sure that if we do move forward, it's right. Because it's gotta be, right?
And Woman's going on to say that, she goes on to emphasize that, acknowledging her trying to clue into the moment with him while he's trying to have a moment with Sabrina. And he goes on to, and he's telling her, it's like, look, you are having connections with other people. I'm not sweating you for that. Trust me and give me my time to make sure I'm making the right decision for me, literally for us, so that I know I want to be where I am. Like, you can't just keep doing that. Like, I saw, he's acknowledging that he saw her doing what she was doing. And sis, like, she took another step down the cliff. Like, she starts spiraling and talking about, somebody's you're being manipulated. They are manipulating you. Lord, y'all tell me in the comments, like, who is they? And of course, you know, shady producers and the camera, they pan to, you know, Sabrina just chilling on an inflatable on the pool, just doing her thing. She's like, she's tough. She understands how these things work. And she agrees with me. She's like, don't let them see you sweat. Girl, I'm right there. Sabrina's learning not letting them see her sweat. Ladies, don't let them see you sweat. Moments, like everybody can see her sweating and it's not cute. It's not pretty. It's not attractive. It's a turn off, personally. It's a turn off. Like, yo, if you all of this and then you look kind of desperate, then they start wondering, like, why is she desperate? Like, what's wrong with her that she feels desperate? Because by all intents and purposes, you see a pretty girl, nice figure, like, you know, so they don't understand where they're insecure. Of course, you know, we all have a trauma, but they just wonder, what's this insecurity from? And they just want to push back. Another scene that I've mentioned that just makes me looking like, of course, it's Camille and Cornelius. I think at this point, most of us, I don't want to use the term cringe, but maybe I'm going to say cringe when we see them together, because it's just like, yo, if Cornelius was my brother, I'd be annoyed. I'd want to shake sense into him. Like, what happened to his spine? What happened to his backbone? Like, I don't know. Like, it angers me, if I can say that, just to see him just like, he's like wet noodle. Handsome man. If your eyes are working, you can see he's handsome. Good physique. That's it. Like, that's where it starts and that's where it ends. Like, how you let someone tell you how to be? Like, if that was even happening to a woman, I'd be burning inside. Talk less of a man who should, like, he doesn't seem to have any boundaries. Like, just, so anyway, I'm going down that dark hole, the rabbit hole. Dinner time, you have like, you know, it seems like anytime they have these dinners, something comes up. So this dinner, you know, they start coming, milling to the table. And another thing that just got on my nerves is like, you know, Cornelius sits right beside, you know, or Cornelius sits right beside Camille. And she's like, no, I want you to sit, like all this, it's I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to keep talking. So anyway, and he does that. Like remote control, he walk around the table and go sit down. Like nobody's home. And are there some men who want to be told what to do? I don't know. But if there are, I don't want to meet them. Like, just stay where you are. Stay where you is. Because nobody trying to find, nobody checking for you. Like, if you need to be told what to do, when to go to the bathroom, when to get up, how to be. Now, I need somebody with a little more, you know. Anyway.
We're in this process to find that one. And I've done a sprint and some people are doing a marathon. So it's sad, but we'll see you guys at the reunion.
So anyway, it looked like, you know, they start the dinner. Camille and Zadia, they give us, you know, the feelings and the vibes of Frick and Frack 2.0. But I remember Frick and Frack from last season weren't necessarily nasty. They were just very clingy and just kind of about each other, like very high schoolish, you know, frat girl kind of thing. But these, yes, they give a frat girl vibe, but they're also kind of like a little mean and rude, you know, because, you know, Camille goes into talking about how, yeah, she did a sprint and the others are doing a marathon. Literally kind of, and I think it's kind of short-sighted of her and almost kind of foolish of her to mock. The race is not over. Those who laugh last laugh best, right? Isn't that what we say? You're not even done with this. Like, what, this season 9, like a couple more episodes to go, sis. But you're so confident you have it in the bag that you're mocking your co-contestants. And they still have, they still have your future in their hands. And if you're wise and you wanted to be that catty, you should have done that in private, not at the table. Talk about, yeah, this is, you know, what she called it. She said it was like, this is ready to love, not confused as F. Like, yo, Camille, you didn't do good. You didn't do yourself any favors. Yeah. There's a story behind you, like the way you were acting anyway. And then, of course, Zadia's, you know, playing up. And then, you know, Aisha at this point, everybody at the table seemed a little irritated. But Aisha was like, you know, she Bronx, baby. She's like, nah, G, I ain't going to keep quiet. They go into conversation, a little altercation. Well, not an altercation, but just like a verbal exchange. And two of the guys, Phil and Dante, just kind of try and usher, you know, Aisha out, like, girl, calm down. Like, it ain't worth it. She's not worth your time. Just leave it alone. Because Zadia kept coming back. And, I mean, of course, they gave us clips, but apparently, you know, Zadia was kind of needling her, you know, trying to provoke a reaction. Where I say another again. Don't let anyone have that kind of control over you, where you kind of, you know, lose who you are. Like you act out of your personality. Like don't let anyone do that. Then a point after Dante goes to Aisha, comes back, and I like the fact that he very politely, went to go check, Zadia, like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. And then literally in the same breath, Zadia tries to I guess, provoke him. Oh, are you doing, I'm over this. Like, Zadia needs to go. Camille needs to go. Cornelius, they all need to start going. But anyway, so that literally, I think, kind of nailed the coffin, put the nail in the coffin for Dante. Like, he was like, this is it. Even Naeem, who was now the only person left that was interested in Zadia, it looking like this is a turn off for me. I'm not interested in this at all.
You gonna come in with the silk? Oh, this is how you doing me? This is how you doing?
I told you I was getting ready.
Dante's coming in now and showing me up again. Chest glistening and like my man really came in looking like Prince. This might be the smoothest way I've ever lost a girl. All right, this is what it is. This is how y'all got me doing.
So this clip, I thought it was cute, funny, yeah. So Phil's sitting down at the piano. This piano is like popular. I guess they like to film around the pianos. I don't know. Anyway, so sitting down with Phil, talking to Phil's with Aisha, and then what's his name? Dante comes in a silk robe that's open with his chest oiled, looking like a chocolate Hugh Hefner with his chest showing, and then he ushers her away into his room. And all of a sudden, bro have like a massage table in there. Like, where he get a massage table? Like, from what I remember, he was a deputy superintendent. He's not a masseuse. Did they, like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's a mansion, so there was a massage table available, and some producer thought it was a great idea. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out like the logistics of this whole thing. But anyway, looked like Aisha was ready, because she was like in not much to begin with, so he was able to begin. I mean, the scene had me almost blushing, like, yeah. I'm like looking away, like looking like, no, they're not, like, y'all know the camera's there, right? Like, but eventually the scene cuts, yeah. Almost like you're watching your parents. But yeah, I mean, he pulled out the stops. It was, yeah, that might have been a little too much for me, but yeah, it made interesting TV, I guess. So, we have, next morning they have breakfast. Uncle Nephew Tommy comes to meet up with the ladies, because they've been told, if I didn't mention this already, we already know that now they're meant to be eliminated in man before they leave the mansion. So sits down, talk to them, of course, talks with Sabrina. Sabrina talking about, me and Walter were getting kind of close, turning to Mumen. Mumen's been triggered, so she's like, it was quite the opposite. And unfortunately, well, maybe now she knows, but unfortunately, she didn't realize the part she played in that, because it could have played out differently. If she just let him have his space, he would have come to meet her and they would have continued, because the whole point of the house was to, flesh out these connections. You can't just put one, like, you have to flesh them out and then after that make a decision. But she didn't play it right. Yeah, so she talked about he was having walls, and so then going on to Aisha talks about how, she and Dante are forming a connection. Of course, Zadia, Miss Mean Girl, she talked about, yeah, it looks like, Dante has chosen Aisha. Everyone's kind of, but Zadia now feels, and this is why I think some of the connections don't work. And I don't know, because you always think, and particularly from last season, we can see how, they may like one person, right, that they really like more. But if that person doesn't give them the attention or it doesn't work out, they end up turning to another person. But this other person they turn to, is that really the person they want, and does it really work out? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it hasn't really worked out in the past. So it's almost okay. So although I look at Dante and Aisha now, they seem to have like a cute chemistry, but now I don't know. Like, who really has a connection? Because when we talk at top of the list, Sabrina, Walter, they want different things. Like the important key things. And when I say, one of the more important things is, Walter wants family. He wants children. His wife died before she could have children. That's going to be a big point of contention with them. Going on, Aisha, Dante, they both kind of in the same place, because remember, he has, 3 kids from 3 different women, so he's not going to want kids. Aisha already has kids, so she doesn't want kids. So it might work, but at this point, I'm not even holding any hope out for anything being successful at this point. I think all of us are just trying to see, like, if anything, throwing against wall and see what sticks at this point. So we go on to, because Zadia, like, she's really played herself to, like, in the beginning, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention. It didn't seem like that, but she don't look, yeah. And her association with Camille is not helping her case. But, you know, moving on to Sydney. I go Sydney. So she and Frank, that he her bae, that they're the same version of, they're different sides of the coin, they're the same version of each other. Like, but you having a little something with, like, you know, what's his name, Phil. And it wasn't that Phil initiated, you initiated this. Like, I'm giving Sydney the side eye, what did I tell people last week? Sydney playing this game, she keep playing for keeps. Like, she playing tough. So she's got, like, one person's got Frank, like, right under her arm like this. But I think she still has her eye on Phil. Who does she want more? I don't know, I'm watching her, but yeah, she playing the game right. Because it's a game. And then Camille, of course, she talks about, you know, Cornelius. I'm not interested in these two, but I think something I've noticed is that, you know what, maybe Camille, because Camille says that, you know, this is, you know, she did confess to, you know, everyone there, because I don't know if she told everyone else. We'd heard this in confessional, but she's not telling everyone else that, yes, she was engaged 3 times, and this, you know, she kind of left. They broke up because she just thought it wouldn't work, whatever the reason was. But she's saying that this has been the most refreshing relationship ever. If this is refreshing, where you are now controlling, like, like, I'm not even going to say controlling like a man, controlling that shouldn't be, that the kind of control you're trying to exercise over Cornelius shouldn't be seen in either sex. And this is refreshing for you, then you must have been some toxic, like some toxic things. So you didn't heal. Because if you're calling this refreshing, sis, you don't need to. So anyway, so I almost wonder that, yeah, like, I was going to, you know, initially I was going to say that, you know, maybe she feels so desperate to make it work because she has 3 broken engagements behind her. And even though she says it doesn't mean anything, she still feels some kind of way about it. So she's desperate for something to work. I'm going to say that, but I'm looking at that like, but then she went ahead to say this is refreshing. Then there's something else when they start deliberating, and then some people start talking about, well, Cornelius hasn't really connected with anyone throughout the whole show. I think the only person he had some kind of connection with was Courtney, but she was gone quick. Like, Courtney left a long time ago. So since that time, he hasn't had any connection to anyone else. And so the ladies are mentioning that, so he needs to be on the chopping block. And something, you know, Camille said in her confessional, she's like, yo, that if he goes, I'm going to be really upset. What I expected her to say was, if he goes, I'm going right after him. I didn't hear her say that. I don't know if that's creative editing, but I didn't hear my good sis say that. She said she's going to be upset. She didn't say she's leaving though. She said she's going to be upset. The elimination dates. Who's on the chopping block? Zaria meets up with Naeem. Camille meets up with Cornelius. And then they start going to clips for next week. Where they do that at? So now we don't know. But we see, you know, Camille crying. Camille's dramatic. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that, like, and you know, when they do these clips, they always want to give us, so I don't know who's going home right now. Like, they could cut both of them, to be honest with you. Like, you know, let's do like a double whammy, speed this baby up. But anyway, guys. So, here we are. With not much to go on. Not much has really happened, guys. I really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Let's just see. Hopefully, I don't know what to hope for. But anyway, Lola, over and out.